Are you ever dealing with problems in your classroom and you're wondering, why are you coming to me for this? I think you can handle this on your own between the student. Check this out. So one thing that we do in my classroom is this thing called the peace path.
So the peace path is basically a way of getting around a conflict in your classroom. And it can be in your classroom, it can be outside. And basically what it is two students that are having a conflict will stand face to face. And when they look down, they have little visuals that explain to them what their step is. You know, on step one, the person that kind of was impacted gets a chance to speak and say, you know, how they were impacted, how they felt. If you pushed me, I would say, I felt sad when you pushed me. And then the other person, they would say how they felt while they were doing it and how they feel afterward. But after they both have a chance to say, you know, how they both felt about it, then the next step is, what is the solution to it? You know, how are we going to fix it? How are we going to move forward and make sure that the next time that we have this conflict, the same outcome doesn't happen? So whether that to be, you make sure that using your words, maybe it's to go get me involved. And then the last step is after they both agree with the solution, that's an important thing, is they have to both agree that, yes, that's a good idea. Then they move on and they say, okay, are we okay? And at that point, they can give a high five, a hug. And the last one is kind of a thought bubble, I say, is you can kind of think about it, is you can say, you know, at this time, I'm not ready for a hug or a high five, but I would like to think about it. Maybe they come back later, or maybe they feel like they need to involve me just because it might be a bigger issue. And I always say, you're not in trouble when you're having this conversation. What we're doing is we're thinking, okay, how can we be better and how can we make sure that we're continuing to be friends? Because we're together for 160 some days every year. So we have to figure out ways to be able to be together.
I feel sad because you pushed me. I pushed you because I wanted to turn. But do we need to be friends? I think we need to take turns.
You know, I love when they do it right there on the peace path. But what I love is that they build the skills to where halfway through the year, they don't need to stand there. They can be at their table and I'm hearing them having a peace path conversation, but they're just doing it at their spot. And then from there, they, you know, high five and they move on, you know, to the next. I feel like it really builds up that skill of being an advocate for yourself and speaking up for what you believe in and what you, and what happened to you. But also I feel like it gives that chance for this person that was maybe aggressing to really think about, oh man, yeah, what I did impact you. And I don't really want to do that. I don't want to continue to make people feel that way. Just to make sure that you're clear with what you expect from your students and you're clear with what is a peace path and what is something that needs to be to the teacher or be to an adult. You know, I'm not just saying I don't want to deal with that. What I'm saying is these are problems that as an adult, sometimes we have an issue with. And some of that is that we just never had a good chance, I feel like, of having those skills built up when we were younger. It's great to see that littles are having a chance to really express themselves and advocate for themselves as well. And not just feel like I have to solve every problem. They can advocate for themselves and be true advocates. So.